Right now at noon, a lawsuit filed by the parents of a UW student who died during his study abroad trip in Rome has been settled. And a plea has been entered on behalf of R. Kelly. We'll have the very latest on that. Plus, we'll tell you who the big winners were last night at the Oscars. Well, before we get to the weather, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 on this Monday. Hope you all survived the weekend in one piece. It was a rough one. Now let's get a first alert look at our weather. Meteorologist Chris Reese standing by. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Mark. We are standing by with cold temperatures that are out there. That is for sure. Temperatures in the single digits right now and likely not to move from the single digits as we go throughout the day. Here's the deal. 4 as you work your way up towards Juneau. Janesville, Kenosha, and Milwaukee are both at double-digit temperatures right now. Viroqua at 3. Here in Madison, we are at 6 degrees. And that sunshine that we had earlier, well, it has now been replaced with a thick blanket of cloud cover moving over the area. And so that is going to keep those temperatures from rising all that much. It's a part of this weak little disturbance bringing some flurries to light snow showers from the west. And that will likely keep that flurry chance around as we go through the rest of the afternoon. Now, I do want to show you future track. One of the things to note is that when a model starts off without showing what's already there, you will have to compensate for that. So it's not going to show much of that flurry chance until later on tonight across the south. But I do think that flurry chance is going to be there. We've already seen it on radar, but I do think the model does a good job of showing that the farther south you are, the better chance you are going to have for those flurries. Temperatures by the overnight hours into tomorrow morning will drop rather to around 0. And then from there, we pay attention to what's coming in Tuesday night and into Wednesday. That could bring more impacts to your commute, which is why an alert day has been declared for Tuesday night into Wednesday. Mark, I'll be breaking down all the latest details on that coming up in just a bit.
Those alert day graphics getting bigger and bigger.
They really are at this point, and we have used so many. We need more at this point because we need variety to the alert days. But hopefully our alert day fatigue will get some rest soon.
Fatigue is right. That's
yeah,
for
that's
sure.
true.
We'll see you in a few minutes, Chris. Thank you. Topping the news today, a settlement has been reached in a lawsuit filed by the parents of a University of Wisconsin-Madison student who died in July of 2016 during his study abroad trip in Rome. In 2017, Nick and Jody Solomon filed a civil case against John Cabot University, where their son, Bo Solomon, had been planning on taking classes before he was pushed into the Tiber River during an argument with a group of homeless people that happened on his first night of his summer study abroad program. In September, Jody and Nick Solomon testified in a hearing in the manslaughter trial against Massimo Galliotto, who was accused of pushing their son into the river. Madison police investigating 2 reports of shots fired last night on the south side. Officers were called around 8:45 and then again around 10:30 last night for reports of shots fired on Sunfish Court. Officers found shell casings the second time they went to the area. They're still investigating. No one was injured and there was no property damage. Police ask anyone with information to call Madison Crime Stoppers. R&B star R. Kelly's attorney has entered a not guilty plea on his client's behalf to multiple charges of criminal sexual abuse. Kelly appeared in a Chicago courtroom today for his arraignment with defense attorney Steve Greenberg. Kelly's charged with 10 counts of aggravated sexual abuse involving 4 females, including 3 who were underage when prosecutors alleged that the abuse occurred. Kelly, who was acquitted of child pornography charges in 2008, has denied wrongdoing, and his attorney says he's confident the singer will be vindicated. His next court date has been scheduled for March 22nd. Governor Tony Evers plans to freeze enrollment in Wisconsin's program that allows students to attend private schools using taxpayer-funded vouchers. School Choice Wisconsin President Jim Bender said Monday that the proposal, quote, will not result in better academic outcomes for anyone. Instead, the Choice Program advocates say the governor's plan will pour gas on the fire of opposition for those who view the education of our children through a singular political lens. Evers, the former state school superintendent, has been a longtime critic of voucher schools. Chinese negotiators have left the United States after 4 days of talks with their American counterparts, which both sides say were productive. They were so productive, in fact, President Trump has delayed a tariff hike that could have escalated tensions between the two countries. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
President Trump says he's happy with trade talks that wrapped up this weekend and expects Chinese negotiators to return soon.
It looks like they'll be coming back quickly again.
The president tweeted last night, "The U.S. has made substantial progress in our trade talks with China. As a result of these very productive talks, I will be delaying the U.S. increase in tariffs now scheduled for March 1st. He highlighted headway made on key sticking points, including intellectual property rights and agricultural exports to China. President Trump also tweeted he would invite Chinese President Xi Jinping to his Mar-a-Lago estate for a signing ceremony if both sides can come to a deal.
We're going to have another summit. We're going to have a signing summit, which is even better. So hopefully we can get that completed, but we're getting very, very close.
The Chinese stock market surged on news that tariffs won't jump from 10 to 25% at the end of the week. Both countries are feeling the impact of tariffs currently in place.
We lose $800 billion a year on trade. Think of it. China's the big one. China's 50% of the number.
The U.S. has already implemented $250 billion worth of tariffs on Chinese goods, and China responded with $110 billion worth of tariffs on American products. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And President Trump says a new trade deal may also include provisions criminalizing the sale of fentanyl to the United States. A study from the National Institutes of Drug Abuse claims nearly half of all opioid-related deaths involve fentanyl. Well, in a year when Black Panther and Roma both could have made history by winning the Best Picture Oscar, the Motion Picture Academy decided to give the top prize to a more traditional film. The interracial road movie Green Book, about real-life pianist Dr. Don Shirley, won the Best Picture Oscar. In an upset, the favorites, Olivia Colman, won Best Actress, beating Glenn Close. Rami Malek took home the Best Actor award for his portrayal of the late Queen frontman Freddie Mercury. Black Panther also made history. Costume designer Ruth Carter and production designer Hannah Beachler became the first black women to win their categories. And Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper performed their Oscar-winning original song, Shallow, from A Star is Born. And there's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Today, we've got a Southern favorite that you can whip up in no time. They're so good, you might consider adding these to your weekly dinner routine. If you've ever had a chance to grab a bite to eat in North Carolina, then you've probably had sweet potato biscuits. For those of you who've never had that pleasure, let me share how you can make these babies right at home. All you have to do is mix together some mashed sweet potatoes, and those can be canned or freshly cooked, along with some milk, sugar, eggs, and a bit of melted butter. Okay, we set that aside for a sec while we mix together some self-rising flour, baking powder, and salt. Now we cut in some shortening using a pastry cutter, or you can use a couple of butter knives. Once the mixture is pebbly, we stir in our sweet potato mixture. All that's left to do is drop heaping spoons of this on a few baking sheets and into the oven they go. In about 15 minutes, once they rise and the tops get golden, we have the most incredible biscuits we've ever tasted. Maybe brush on some warm maple syrup or drizzle them with honey and get ready for some good old-fashioned Southern eating. So go online and get the recipe for our Southern sweet potato biscuits so you can experience the best of the best without leaving your house. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a down-home way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, thanks, guys. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, a cloudy and cold start to the work week. Meteorologist Chris Reese has your first alert forecast when we come back. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is up 160 points. The NASDAQ up 44. The S&P 500 gaining 13 points at the noon hour. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee out of the radio barn today. So here are your farm numbers. And time now for the weather. Here's Chris Reese with your first alert forecast. Chris?
It's a lot colder now than it was at this time yesterday. Another cold front swept its way on through here. You felt it with the winds that were blowing out there, but we're 18 degrees colder here in Madison. A lot of us 15 to 20 degrees colder. You look just to the north and west, and they are upwards of 25 degrees colder than just 24 hours ago. But our temperatures right now, mainly in the single digits. There are a few of us that are seeing double-digit temperatures. Janesville, the winner at 10 right now. Same for Mineral Point at 10 degrees as well. But as you work your way towards the north, Madison at 6, the Dells at 6, places like Westfield at 5 to 6 degrees as well. But wind chills are below zero. It feels like -4 here in Madison, -7 in Juneau. Wautoma, 11 degrees below zero is what it feels like, and it could be worse. Remember those extreme winds we had through here yesterday? Thankfully, those are out of here, but here are just some of the peak gusts that we saw. 63 miles per hour in Milwaukee. For reference, severe thunderstorm warnings are issued at 58 miles per hour. And these winds did lead to some damage in spots, but things have calmed down in the wind department. Right now, that sunshine that we had is now gone and replaced with cloud cover. We're going to keep that cloud cover around as we go through the rest of the evening as well. A little streak of light snow trying to work its way into town. I think the air is just a little bit dry, but that could produce at least some flurries across south central Wisconsin. And I think the farther south you are, the better chance you have to get in on the flurry activity. If you do see stuff reaching the ground, please let us know. Of course, you guys are our eyes when we are in the studio. Now, this model not picking up on that snow, but it's there. We just saw that on radar. So even though it's not going to show that snow potential into the afternoon, just know that that is going to be there. Meanwhile, temperatures will top out around 8. Here we are at midnight. It begins to show the snow potential farther towards the south, but temperatures tonight are going to fall towards that 0-degree mark once again. Then we start to watch Tuesday afternoon and evening. We'll have another round of snow moving in from the north and west. This one could have enough moisture to lead to some accumulating snow around here. With temperatures in the teens as well, it's going to be hard to get that salt to work. So this is going to have impacts on your afternoon commute and perhaps even into your Wednesday morning commute. Once that gets on out of here, we'll have another light snow chance as we go into Thursday. Now, the two of those combined, I do think have the possibility to bring us about 3 to 4 inches of snow across southern Wisconsin when all is said and done by the close of the month at midnight on Thursday. Here's that Thursday snow added. We could see about 3 to 4 inches, perhaps upwards to 5 in spots. If we do, that takes us to the 3rd snowiest February on record. I don't think we'll make second place or first place, but we are certainly going to see a top 3 snowiest February there. From there, we then watch another system that comes in on Friday into Saturday. That could bring more accumulating snow around here. So our busy pattern has not come to an end at all, folks. We are still watching those snow chances. Again, Tuesday into Wednesday are alert days, but there's a snow chance every single day in this work week. The only day without a snow chance right now is Sunday, but then perhaps another Monday and Tuesday next week.
Make it stop.
We are working on that one. As much as I love snow, I will admit I raise the white flag. Here's the deal. People have just been down lately, and I think we need a break, get everyone, you know, a chance to relax and not have to shovel some sunshine. But
not for now.
We're in this together, folks. You are not alone.
We'll make it.
Yes, we will.
All right, Chris, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Linda Birch from the Bruce Company is here taking your plant and garden questions. 270-9933, the number to call. We'll get to your questions right after this. Linda Barge from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. 270-9933, the number to call. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Mark.
Brought a little spring with you. That's nice. We need it.
I did. The greenhouse is just full of all these beautiful flowering plants. Like this plant here, this one that is orange. Some people call it clivia. I call it clivia. It's just the one that comes into bloom this time of year. And I've got some fragrant things. Stephanander here, and then the little rose down front. And then I brought rosemary and basil. So when I opened up, it just smells great.
The rosemary smells great.
Spring's coming.
Yes, 25 days. All right, so we had all the snow, and then we got the rain, and now we got the ice. Is there concern for our plants outside?
Well, I did knock some snow off from some plants that I have before the rain came because I was concerned about the snow load. But when you're doing that, you've got to do it very carefully. When you're shaking things, and especially when it's as cold as it is. I did it that one warm day that we had.
Timing is everything.
Yes.
So it's arborvitas and...
Arborvita, well, there's a lot of plants that can be impacted. Redbuds are sort of fragile. They can, but I think that they're pretty clean right now because the winds have knocked all the snow off from plants.
And the snow is actually good for plants. It's good insulation.
Snow is a good insulation. It's much better than ice because ice does not allow oxygen, and that can be problematic for growing points. But snow is a good, light, fluffy snow is a good insulation, not heavy.
All right. Let's go to the phones. We'll start with Larry in Wisconsin Dells. Hi, Larry.
Yeah, I want to know when you trim your grapevines back.
Okay, well, when the snow gets, unless you have snowshoes, a lot of people have snowshoes. Now, you can be pruning them as long as you can see them at this time of the year. You want to do it prior to, well, March is still all right. Once you get into April and May, then you're going to have a lot of sap flow. So if you could do it earlier, like March would be a real good time to prune your grapevines.
Before it starts growing.
Yes, before they start to grow.
Okay, let's go to John in Madison. Hi, John.
Hey, what's the best time of year to buy a Christmas cactus?
To buy them? Well, they're usually
a healthy one.
A healthy one. Okay. Usually people like to buy them when they're in bud. So there are Christmas cactus still available, but I think you've missed the big wave of them. They're grown in greenhouses, and they force them to, so that they're going to have buds for you to enjoy the flowers. And the big peak is typically closer around Christmas time, but they're
Are there Easter cactuses too?
There are, but they're not as commonly available.
Really?
Yes.
Same plant though.
It's a different species. It's the same, same genus but different species.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, Mary in Mount Horeb. Hi, Mary. What's your question?
I have a Christmas plant, a poinsettia, and it's lost all its leaves, and all I have is stems left. Is there anything I can do for it?
I think probably it's just been too dark and it's given up. I wouldn't bother with that. And I mean, if you have other house plants, if you try to continue to grow that, since it's really struggling, I'm afraid that there might be some insects that would emerge and attack this. So I think I would just toss that out and get a different house plant.
Yeah, if there's no leaves on it, since the size, it's not going to live, right?
That's right.
Science 101. All right, Thomas from Myocene. What's your question?
Yes, I have some vine plants. They have like white stripes on the leaves. I don't know what kind of vines they are. They usually grow all the way down to the floor. And I have one plant that has just stopped growing. I put plant food spikes in and I water it regularly. It looks healthy, but it just stopped growing.
Well,
does it need to be repotted?
That's a possibility. I'm not sure what kind of plant from...
Sounds like an ivy, maybe.
Well, I guess that's true. Ivies would have white stripes in the leaves. What you're going to find is that once we start to have more daylight, these plants are going to start to improve. And March is a good time. March, April is a good time to repot things because then our day length is lengthening, and they're going to be able to adapt to that new soil. Don't overpot things.
And things don't grow much this time of year.
No, they don't.
Especially houseplants.
That's right.
So
we're not tropical.
And start your seeds, right?
Well, no, this is the beginning time frame. You could start perhaps some peppers, but wait for tomatoes and things until March or early April, because otherwise they're going to get too leggy before we get to move them outside.
Which we will do eventually.
Yes.
We hope. All right, we're out of time. If you're on the line, stay there. Linda will talk to you off the air. We'll see you next time.
All right,
Chris is here with one final check of your forecast.
Yeah, we've got the cloud cover moving in for the rest of the afternoon, but I do think that we could see a possibility of some flurries in there as well. Otherwise, we're staying cold, folks. 8 degrees is as warm as we will get for today. Now, overnight tonight, things will get a lot colder. We're going to see those lows likely right around the 0-degree mark. Some folks could go a couple degrees below 0 later on tonight. Again, that chance of flurries will be there, but heavier snow chances do arrive Tuesday and into Wednesday.
Here we go again. All right, Chris, thank you. That's our time for now. We'll see you back here at 4. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.